Hi there, Jen Roque here at stampcampwithjen.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the U.S. and welcome to day 10 of my 12 weeks of Christmas series. I hope you're enjoying it. If you're new here, I'm going to pop down the schedule real quick just so you can see. Each week, this is the 4th week, so each week I've done 3 days of projects. So 3 projects times 4 weeks is where I get my 12 days of Christmas. So every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday I do a project. Thursday I do a giveaway, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I have a shopping special, and Sunday I announce the giveaway winner for Thursday, okay? So this week will be the last week of the series. If you're new and you haven't already, go back and check the other weeks so you can see all the fun projects, okay? It's been a lot of fun, and I still have, like I said, a couple more projects for you guys, and then one more giveaway and one more weekend of shopping special, okay? All right, so before we get into today's project, I just want to remind you, don't forget to look up the last chance products. They're up to 60% off and their wall supplies last. So they should last until January 4th, but they could sell out before then. So if there's anything you want or need, be sure to get those at that savings before they're gone for good, okay? And also the clearance rack was updated last week and there's still a lot of great stuff on there as well, okay? All right, guys, so this is the little project we're going to make today. This is called a crisscross box because the front kind of crisscrosses over, and this holds a Reese's treat. Now, I've seen some Santa, Twix, and Snickers trees. I think they're about the same size and they should fit in here as well, but I haven't tried it out, so don't quote me on that, okay? You would have to compare the size of the candy. There is a little bit of wiggle room in here, so if the candy is a little bit wider, it should still fit, okay? So this is really fun. These would be great like little table favors or just something to kind of let somebody know you're thinking about them through the holiday season. These would be good to kind of keep in your purse and just kind of hand out when you're waiting in line doing your Christmas shopping. For those of you that still go to the store, I do a lot of my Christmas shopping online, but I do still go to the store and people do get quite frazzled at the store. So this would be a nice little pick-me-up for somebody. All right, so let me show you how we're going to put this together. So I do want to note in this project, the last chance product that we're using here is the Santa Express paper. The Santa Express 12 by 12 paper, and it's on sale right now too. It's normally $12 and I think it's $7.20. So if that's something you wanted to get, now would be a good time to get it. And this is the pattern that we're using out of that paper pack, okay? Now, the stamp set and this die that we're using are actually in the annual catalog, so you'll still be able to get those after January 4th because the annual catalog lasts through the end of April. So this Christmas to Remember stamp set is in the annual catalog, and this is the stamp sentiment that we're using today. And then the seasonal labels dies, and I don't have it over here. Oh, let me grab it. So these are all the dies that are in there, but we're using this little die that usually comes right here, okay? There's a bigger version and a smaller version. So the smaller one fits that sentiment perfectly, okay? So that's what we're using for this project. So like I said, the dies and the stamp set are both in the annual catalog, so you'll still be able to get these after January. Okay, so get my measurements. I wrote them down to make sure I don't forget. So I just want to show you how I cut this. So we are going to cut a piece of shaded spruce. Let me move these measurements down so you can see it. So in the landscape position for the paper, I'm going to cut it at 5 3/4. And then we need 7 1/2. So that just takes like about 1 inch off this side. Okay, so now I have this one. I'm going to grab my Simply Scored scoring tool because it makes deeper impressions when you score. It makes it a lot easier to see your score marks. Hold on one second. All right. So, and I'm going to take these little pieces out because that isn't going to help. Okay, so with our paper in the landscape position, we're gonna grab our little scoring tool here and we're gonna score at 2 inches, 2 3/4, 4 3/4, and 5 1/2. Okay, so 2, 2 3/4, 4 3/4, and 5 1/2. And then I'm going to rotate it clockwise, and I'm going to score at 2. Oops, that's okay because I'm cutting that little piece away anyway. 2 3/4. So 2 and 2 3/4. Okay, so it should look like that. I messed up a little bit here, but this piece is going to get cut away anyway. All right, so we're just gonna fold and burnish on all of our score lines, and since we use that Simply Scored scoring tool, it makes it so much easier to see everything. And in the PDF tutorial at Stamp Camp with Jen for this post, I will have pictures in the PDF tutorial, so if you wanna print the tutorial later and make your projects, you can go ahead and do that, and it'll be a little easier for you to kind of see where you need to be in each step, okay? All right, so with the bigger sections at the top and the shorter sections towards the bottom, I'm going to take some scissors here, and we need to cut away these 2 sections towards the bottom. So on the side, on the top section, I'm actually going to cut to the second score line here. And then this first score line inward, I'm just going to cut up towards that second score line. Okay, just like that. And so we need to cut these tabs, so that's why I kind of cut all the way to that second score line on the side there. So I have a little tab just like that. That's how the side's gonna look. So again, that top score line on the side, we're gonna cut up to the second score line that it comes in contact with. Okay, and then with it right side up, we're gonna cut those 2 score lines, or cut that score line, the first one, and then I'm going to cut this little tab here. Okay, so those little pieces are trash or scrap or whatever you want to do. So this is how it should look at this point. You've got, whoops, and I need to cut that a little bit more. Oops. Didn't cut it quite far enough to that score line. There we go. So you've got these 2 little tabs that are going to come in, and then these pieces fold up as well, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna flip this over, and we're gonna bring in our cutting tool, and we're gonna cut these pieces so it looks like an arrow at the top here on these outer pieces, okay? So bringing in our paper trimmer, we're gonna line up that first score line and this little corner at the bottom. And I'm going to cut down, okay? And then I'm going to move it so that it's kind of facing me, and that outer score line and the point of that other section there, we're going to cut that away as well, so it looks like an arrow. Okay? And you'll see what I mean here in just a second. All right, so just like that, so you kind of see it looks like an arrow shape, okay? And that is how it should look once you're done cutting everything, okay? So now we're gonna flip it over, so that's the back side now. And you can take glue or tear and tape. In the pictures, I have tear and tape, whatever is easier for you. I think I'm actually gonna use glue in the video. And so what you wanna do is these bottom flaps here, we're gonna fold these in, and we're gonna put glue on the back sides of these. And glue's always good because it gives you a little bit of time to kind of wiggle things around. Just use a thin layer, don't use big blobs of glue. Okay, so now with the little arrow piece here, so these tabs we're gonna fold up and kind of fold them over so they're inside. So these tabs on the inside, these smaller tabs, are gonna go inside this side of the box, okay? So these are gonna be inside, and then the outer tabs are gonna overlap just like that. So you can kind of see those tabs, and then we're going to fold it in and bring the box up like that. Okay, and you just kind of want to use your fingers and hold everything together. Get those little tabs on the inside, make sure those are nice and stuck down, and then use your finger to kind of wiggle that stuff in place. So these little pieces are going to crisscross over the front. That's why it's called a crisscross box, okay? So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue for these and just put a little bit of glue on the bottom of each section, just like that, little line of glue, and then we're just going to crisscross them over in the front and kind of give everything a second to kind of stick down where it needs to go. Use your fingers and kind of press it all together, and that's your little crisscross box. It's so much fun. I've made a Valentine's version, a Halloween version. This is the first Christmas one I've done, so it's really fun. All right, so this strip here, like I said, this is from the Santa Express Designer Series paper. This piece is 1.5 by 6 inches. So this is a good project to use up little pieces of 6-inch Designer Series paper. Maybe you have some scraps from a pack or whatever. So I'm just gonna center it over the front, and we're gonna kind of form like a belly band. So we're gonna loosely fold it around the box to kind of shape where we want it to go, and kind of crimp it along those edges, and you'll see it kind of folds over a little bit in the back there. So then we're gonna take some tear and tape, and we're just gonna put 2 strips of tear and tape right on the inside here. Just like this. Okay. Fold that up. There we go. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool. It always makes it easier to remove that tear and tape backing. There we go. So we're just going to kind of use those lines as a guide. So kind of lining that crease up, and you want to do maybe about 1/4 inch from the bottom. There is where we're going to line up that paper. So we're just going to put that down, kind of press it as we go around the box here. Press it down into place and just wrap it around, and make sure to try to line it up edge to edge with that paper in the back there. And then we'll just go around and really press it down and secure it in place. And there's that little decoration right there. Now we are going to take some of this beautiful white glittered organdy ribbon. I love this ribbon so much. And this is totally optional. I know a lot of people don't like to tie bows or mess with ribbon, and that's totally fine. I get it. But if you do want that extra little sparkle and pizzazz like I do, you can take your ribbon and just kind of, let's see, I'm going to take about this much. I'll measure it in just a second for those of you that need some measurements. So this piece is about 19 inches, okay? And that's probably even more than I need. But I'm just going to wrap it around this box so that we're going to tie the bow on the side of the box, on the left-hand side of the box here. So I'm just going to tie it just like this. All right. Oh, it didn't do anything. All right, here we go. So just like you would tie your shoes, you know, you just cross it over. You can make bunny ears, whatever's easiest for you to tie a bow. And a lot of people hate doing this, so they just don't. And that's, like I said, it's totally fine. This is just kind of an extra step to get a little extra sparkle in our project, but you definitely don't have to do this. But I really liked it. I thought it was pretty. And so we're just gonna tie it and tighten it, and then I'm gonna trim the tails. So again, you could probably even do, you know, 18 inches of ribbon would be plenty, whatever's comfortable for you. But I had maybe 2 inches left over that I trimmed off, so. All right, so there we go. So there's our little ribbon on the side. Now we're gonna make our little, have a holly jolly Christmas on the front here. So I am gonna grab the stamp right here, and I have a little scrap of, I wanna make sure this is big enough for my die. Oh yeah, this should be just about right, as long as I stamp it in the center. We'll see how that goes. Oh, maybe I should use this actually. Oh, let's use this. I think this will be better. Yeah, we'll just use this scrap. All right, so this is mint macaron, and we're just gonna stamp right in this piece over here. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And I'm gonna grab my mini stamping machine here. I love this thing for crafting when I have a bunch of stuff I have to do. I sat here making Christmas cards and just did a bunch of die cutting on this thing. It's really great because I don't like to stand hunched over stuff. It kind of hurts my back after a while. So, all right, so we're gonna take this piece. We have our plate number 1, our plate number 2, and then our stamp and our die from the seasonal labels dies, and I'm going to center this, and then I just have a piece of Post-it note, and then another number 2. So the big thing with these is make sure the plates line up at the ends, because sometimes if you don't put them all in at the same time, the machine won't catch it, and then you won't be able to run it through the machine, okay? All right, so should come right off here, right off our little sticky note. Oh, that's a sticky, sticky note. Use whatever tape you have that works, but that came out pretty good. So move that off to the side here. Fold up my little machine. All right, and now we're gonna take our Label Me Lovely punch and a piece of mint macaron, and we're gonna punch that out. And then these little square sections on the side, we're actually just gonna cut those off. We don't want those. We're gonna cut that little section right off, just go straight down and trim that off so it looks like that, okay? And then we're gonna take our Stampin' Seal Plus and just put 2 little strips of it right in the middle. And then we're gonna center this, lining up these little humps on both sides. I'm trying to make sure I do it right. Here we go. Just like that, okay? Now, for our box, we wanna take some, where did I do with it? Oh, right here, right in front of my face. So we're gonna take some dimensionals here, and the dimensionals will help the ribbon stay in place. So we're gonna put 1 directly below the ribbon, 2 directly above the ribbon, and now that ribbon's not moving anywhere because those dimensionals are gonna hold it in place. And then I'm gonna stick 1 more where this little opening between the crisscross is. And that'll kind of help hold the words in place here. Okay. And then we'll just center this right over our dimensionals there. And now the last little flourish is we are going to use these beautiful iridescent pearl basic jewels, and we're going to put these on the top and bottom of our little label punch here. So I'm going to take the bigger one at the bottom and center that where that little hump is on the bottom and the top. I'm going to do that for both of those. And then I'm going to take 2 of the smaller ones and put 1 on each side of each of those. And just gives it like a little more sparkle. I really like sparkle. I'm like a little kid that way. All right, and now all we have to do is put our little Reese's tree in there, and there you have it. You have a quick and easy little crisscross box ready to go for your table favors for Christmas, or, you know, just maybe you're going to somebody's house for dinner and you want to give them a little treat, this would be really nice. Or a little stocking stuffer if you need a last minute stocking stuffer idea and you have all this stuff. Or you could save the project for next year. These would be great craft fair items for a Christmas craft fair too. All right, guys, well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna bring my little Santa friend in here like I do for all my Christmas series videos. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to my newsletter that goes out every Friday, and you get lots of Stampin' Up! Inside news and inside scoop to my events that are coming up. And I do have mini catalog product shares that will be announced this weekend on Friday. So if you're interested in hearing about that first, be sure to sign up for my newsletter so that you can get that inside scoop. Don't forget to like, give me a thumbs up or heart on this video, and leave a comment in the comment section below. I love hearing what you guys think about these projects, okay? If you need anything, please shop with me, Jennifer Roque, at StampinUp.com and purchase the supplies through me. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to look out for my shopping special this weekend where you can earn free gifts with a minimum purchase amount, okay? All right, guys. Well, until next time, be safe and happy stamping. Bye-bye.